hours if they do. And then there's the community college contract that's even priced lower because it covers the student at any in-district rate of any community college in the state. And you can mix and match those options. If you have one, let's say you only purchased a 2-year community, the child decides to go to MSU, they cash it out, and we send a payment to MSU, and you pay the difference. So under no circumstance do you lose your money, but at the same time, you have different ways you can pay in. So full, limited, and community.
How about for you and your program? Let's say I buy one for my first child, and something happens, that child passes away or something of that nature. Would it be transferable to a second child?
Yes, either transferable or refundable. We talked about lowest tuition earlier. Instead of getting that payment out over a 4-year period if the child was not attending college, under death or learning disability, the refund is paid out in lump sum within 60 days of the request to the refund designee. Or, again, you could always transfer it if you didn't want to cash it out.
What do we got in the state of Michigan? How many folks are taking advantage of this?
We've sold over 89,000 MET contracts, which represents about 82,000 beneficiaries.
Wow.
But now we've paid in full over 34,000 of those people that have actually walked away and either have their degree or used all their credits somewhere. MESP,
over 200,000 account owners with designated beneficiaries, so lots of folks are really using these programs, which is great.
We wouldn't be doing our job here for the people if we didn't. How do they get in touch with you folks if they want to find out more or perhaps enroll or sign up a kid?
Both programs offer online enrollment as well, so you want to go to the MET site, which is setwithmet.com, S-E-T with MET.com.
Okay.
Takes you right to our website, and the toll-free number is 800-MET, the number 4, KID, 638-4543.
Okay. Say that again, just to be...
Okay, 800 MET, MET for kid.
Okay.
The number 4, and 638-4543. And that's toll-free. We're there 8 to 5 on Monday through Friday.
Okay. And how about
for MESP, the website is Michigan's misaves.com. So misaves.com.
Yes.
So you can go online, find out a lot of information, or you can contact one of our tuition financing consultants who will walk you through the different options, how much you might need to save, and you can reach those 8 to 5 Monday through Friday at 877-861 MESP.
And the phone number again?
1-877-861 MESP. That's 6377.
Well, what are we seeing these days with our bad economy? Are some folks having to cash these in because they're having financial troubles, or not so much?
We've been, I guess, pleasantly surprised that we have not seen people, going in and taking out large non-qualified withdrawals, which would mean you're not using it for higher expenses. So we've really been happy that folks really understand and say, you know what, I'm still going to keep contributing what I can. Our contributions are down a little bit, so I think that people may have pared back a little. Maybe they're only doing $50 a month now, and they might have been doing $100 a month. But again, I think that once someone really starts saving for college and they have that account, they really don't want to touch it. They're going to try and find some other place to make ends meet, because there really is that feeling of I'm really doing something that's really going to benefit my kids down the road.
We do love our children.
We do, don't we? I know. It's I wasn't going to raid theirs. I went back to school and I was thinking, maybe I'll trust it. I'm like, no, I'll leave it for them. I'll find a way to do it.
They really misbehaved. Maybe that way.
Maybe you want to reconsider.
It's also a nice thing to hold over their head. Now, look, you behave yourself.
That's right.
How about same for you?
Well, same for us. I mean, we've really seen I personally have only taken maybe 2 or 3 calls from people inquiring, how can I pull this out if I have to? Maybe 1 call in the last 3 weeks that said, I really need to pull it out. I'm having a tough time. I was laid off from my job. But there again, it's really surprising to me too, because as the economy is, I'm surprised I'm not getting more. But I believe because folks in Michigan in particular we really value higher education, and we know the importance of it. And there again, we can hold it over our child's head. We don't want them to live with us forever. So the goal is to, get them prepared for the real world. So.
Hey, one thing I don't know what we've touched on yet is the difference between public universities and the private schools. How does that work for you two guys?
Well, I think it's sort of a good distinction between the programs is that for Met, it does pay for tuition at public universities. MESP can be used for the private universities or universities, across the country. Again, Met is portable, but it really, you're getting the biggest benefit by using it here in the public university spectrum. In addition, MESP will pay for room and board. So oftentimes when Robin and I are together, we like to call ourselves sort of sister programs where if you know you're going to a Michigan public institution, purchase the tuition credits with Met, and then for the room and board and books and fees and all of those things, put some aside in MESP. So they make a nice, you can have both. And that makes a very nice combination package where you're buying the tuition credit at today's prices, and then you're also saving for the room, the board, the books, computers, those types of things.
And the added incentive is that when you save in both programs, you're also entitled to the state tax deduction for both programs. We actually have a line, 2 lines on the state of Michigan subtractions from income. I guess it's additions and subtractions from income form. But the bottom part of that form has a line with the MESP logo that says, have you contributed to your MESP account this year? You write in that dollar amount, whatever you contributed to Met. So you can reduce the amount of your earnings that, before you calculate your tax.
I didn't know that,
Absolutely.
that there was tax deductibility.
Yeah,
so I know you're signing up your grandchildren now, right?
Absolutely. Right here.
There you go.
But yeah, the tax deduction is, I don't think we touched on that.
Yeah, we
and
have.
it's up to $5,000 for a single filer and up to $10,000 for a joint filer for contributions that go into MESP. And again, if you're also contributing to Met, that's another $5,000, up to $5,000, and up to $10,000 for the
actually, the Met deduction's a little different, but it's the total contract price in Met.
This is for state, not for federal.
State, not for federal.
Yes.
But you have your federal tax exemption on the earnings. So remember what Pam said earlier, that applies to Met as well.
Right.
When you go to use it for college, as long as you use it at a qualified higher education institution, that's anywhere in the nation or abroad actually, and as long as you use it for her and Met. Because you're out of
that portable too?
Oh, absolutely. Out of state college includes anyone outside the state, abroad, as long as their school or that institution is offering financial aid to their students.
So
It's
I go to
qualified.
Paris?
You could go to Paris, why not? And so you could use that, but there again, if you have the MESP as well, then you also have something to supplement, because the guarantee doesn't kick in if they go out of state. You're getting the average tuition of the public colleges.
Okay.
So you probably need a little bit more.
In talking about differences, how would you contrast the two programs? What are, if somebody wants to make a decision and they're only going to do one, what are the advantages of each one, or different advantages?
I guess I'd say with Met, you're going to be on a regimented payment schedule unless you have a lump sum to put down.
Okay.
With MESP, you can put that $25 down at any time.
Okay.
Birthday time, Christmas time. You can get other relatives to pitch in, and they can also take their tax deduction even though the account's in your name.
Okay.
Those types of things. Whereas with Met, you really, like what I mentioned, $12 a month, you have to pay that every month.
Right.
So it can't be just $12 any time you think.
So there may be a little bit more flexible.
A little bit more flexible.
But you've got a guarantee
still,
at the end that you don't have. Is that right?
Well, except the one option. We have principal plus interest option that does guarantee your principal, gives you no less than 3% rate of return. So you have a good, what shall I say, host of investment options that can help the most conservative saver as well as the most aggressive.
Okay. Any other real differences that you want to point out?
Other than prepaid and
one you're paying right now, one's growing, and you take it later. So
so keep in mind, even though you might be saving $25 here or then, we encourage you to save on a regular basis with MESP, because at the end of the day, it's going to be about what's in your account
Right.
Right.
And what can you cover with
Right.
that? If you only put in
Exactly.
$25 twice a year, you're not going to have a
Right.
lot.
Right.
So we want to encourage regular savings. So.
What is the average person putting in these days to these sort of programs?